The Chitrik Academy is dedicated in loving memory of Rabbi Tzvi Hirsh Chitrik.
Welcome to today's lesson. Today we are going to start from Tashma, which is on the second to last line of the page, until on the next page, Chaf Beis Amud Beis, till the Tashma over here, which is after the word Ladas. We are going to learn today that in order for a produce or a fruit to become tameh, it needs to first become wet with one of 7 liquids, which we're not going to discuss today. And the owner of the fruit needs to be happy with this, that it became wet. And we're going to try to prove that this brisa seems to be a proof to Abaya. Let's start the Gemara. Tashma, come and learn. Eidehu hatal alehen. If the person woke up in the morning and he saw that there were dew on his produce, v'samach, and he was happy, so then harei zeh b'chiyutan. Then these fruits become the category of chiyutan, which chiyutan is this obligation that they need to become wet in order to contract, in order to be able to become tameh. That is what chiyutan means. So if the person saw that it was wet from dew, and he was happy, then they're eligible to become tameh. Nagvu, however, what if they dried off before the person saw them? Dew fell on these produce, on these fruits, and they dried before the person was able to see it. Afal pisha samach, even if the person, the owner, is happy that they became wet overnight. Let's turn the page. Einan bechiyutan. However, because he did not see them wet, he was not happy while they were wet, they do not become chiyutan, and cannot become tameh. So now the Gemara is going to try to explain why this is a proof to Abaya. Taimamai, what is the reason for this ruling? Lav mishum d'loy amrinan, is it not because we do not say kivan de gale milsa the hashta nechale, because it is revealed the case that now nechale, the person is happy, mikara nami nechale, because we may say that igali milsa, because we see the person is happy now, maybe that retroactively it should also mean that when it rained, when it was wet, it should be he was happy that it became wet. However, because we say that if it's dry now, it does not become tameh, so it shows us the loy amrina. We do not say the kivan the gale milsa the hashta nechale, because it is revealed to us now that now the owner likes it. Mikaranami nechale, we assume that the owner also enjoyed that it was also happy that it became wet. And this is the proof of the Gemara. Why is this a proof? Because seemingly, according to this, we do not say that we go what the owner may have thought beforehand. Retroactively, if he's happy now, we say that he was happy earlier as well. Seemingly, this is the proof to Abaya that just because the owner gives up on finding his object later on, it is not yishlei medas that retroactively we count it as if the person gave up on finding his item. So this is, let's go back to the earlier page. Here starts the proof. We'll make a P for the proof. According to Abaya, the yishlei medas is not yish. We do not say that retroactively the owner enjoys that it is wet. So until here is the proof that's according to Abaya. Now, the Gemara is going to reject this proof. That no, even Rava would agree in this case that we do not say Igali Milso Mafreya, that's revealed now what his intentions were. Let's see the Gemara. The Gemara answers, Shani Hasam. Over there, the case of water falling on fruit is Shani, is different. Because over there it says in the pasuk, Tiksiv, because it says, Ki yitain, ad sheyitain. In this case over here, the water, it says that the person has to put the water on the actual item, on the produce. And therefore, because the person did not know about it, he didn't put it on it, therefore, it is not considered to be wet. And we don't say that he wanted it, because over here there's a special halacha that kiyitain. This is what the pasuk says, that the owner needs to sort of put the water on the produce himself. Now the Gemara is going to ask a question. If the owner needs to put the water on the fruit himself, why in the first case, let's go back, why in the first case, if he woke up in the morning and he saw the dew was on it and he was happy, do we say that it becomes tummy? The person never put the dew on it by himself. He never made his produce wet. So why do we say that it can become tummy? Seemingly, if the pasuk says kiyitain, that the person needs to put it on himself. So why in the reisha, why in the first case, do we say that it becomes tummy? Let's see this inside. Ihachi, if so, reisha nami. In the reisha, in the first case where he saw it wet by the dew, it should also not be able to come tummy. Why do we say that it is tummy? So Gemara is going to answer this right now from the word hasam. So let's make a, so we know the answer starts on this line. Let's make the A on this side. This is the answer. Hasam, because over there, in this case of the fruits, the produce getting wet, kid Rav Papa. It's like Rav Papa said. Did Rav Papa Rami, because Rav Papa had asked, Ksiv, it says in the pasuk, ki yitain. That's what it says in the pasuk, ki yitain. Let's make quotations. These are the words that says in the pasuk. That's how it's written. Vikarinan, however, when we read in the Torah, we pronounce it not ki yitain, but ki yutan. Haketzad. How is this? What does this mean? Why do we read a ki yitain and ki yutan? Ki yitain means the person needs to put water on it. Ki yutan means the water was placed on it, not necessarily that the person needs to put water on it. So how does this work? Haketzad. Be'inan ki yutan dumya dechi yitain. We need that even when the water is placed on the produce, it has to be similar to ki yitain, as if the person placed it by himself. Ma yitain ladas. Same way, if a person placed the water on the produce, it was with his knowledge. Af kiyutan nami ladas. Also kiyutan, if it was placed by something else through dew, also as long as the person knows, it is considered ladas, with his knowledge, and they become tameh. Let's see this on our board. So we spoke about this. The person needs to be happy. Now let's move along to what it says in the pasuk. The pasuk says ki yitain, that a person needs to actually put water. He has to put liquid on his produce to become tameh. However, the way we read it is ki yutan. This is how it's read, that water needs to be placed on it, but not necessarily by the person. So Rav Papa explains that this pasuk has come to teach us that in this case we actually need both of them, which means we need it. It can be ki yutan. It can be placed by some other way that the person didn't place himself. Could be dew, which is natural, or was poured on it. However, it has to be similar to ki yitain, to when a person places it by himself. How is that? Same way when ki yutan, when it's on. Same way by ki yitain, the person knows about it because they placed it. Same way ki yutan, a person has to know about it in order to become tameh. So what the Gemara is telling us is that this brisa, this case, is not referring to is not a raya to Abaya, because maybe in this case the person has to have knowledge when it fell on it, when the water or the dew fell on it, because this ki yutan has to be like ki yitain. Therefore, the person must know about it. However, in a regular case, in our case of Yishalei Madas, perhaps the owner does not need to know about it right away, that his item was lost, and give up on it. Maybe we would say that once he knows afterwards, he retroactively will give up on it. However, this case is an exception. And this is the end of this lesson.